Good morning. I'm Mary Frank Brown with the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. I am the designated hearing officer for this hearing. I would like to welcome each of you to the hearing today. The subject of this hearing is the proposed revisions of ADM Administrative Code Division 335-1. Notice of the date, time, place, and purpose of this hearing was published in the Birmingham News, the Huntsville Times, the Mobile Press Register, and the Montgomery Advertiser on August 21st, 2022. Copies of the certification of these publications are submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit C-1 through C-4. On August 19th, 2022 and August 26, 2022, the Department also caused the same notice to be sent to 2,738 individuals and organizations requesting advance notice of rulemaking. A listing of the individuals and organizations notified will be entered into the hearing record as Exhibit C-5. A copy of the proposed rules was filed with the Administrative Procedures Division of the Legislative Services Agency, and a copy was furnished to the Joint Committee on Administrative Regulations Review on August 19, 2022. A copy of the notice was also published in the Alabama Administrative Monthly, Volume 40, Issue 11, on August 31st, 2022. These facts are attested to by Othni Lantham, Director of the Legislative Services Agency, by affidavit, which is submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit C-6. A copy of the proposed rules have been available for inspection by the public at ADM field offices in Birmingham, Mobile, and Decatur, and ADM offices in Montgomery. The proposed regulation changes have also been available on the ADM internet site at adm.alabama.gov. A copy of the proposed rules is submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit B-1. A copy of the summary of reasons supporting adoption of rules is submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit B-2. The Department has given public notice of these rule-making proceedings. This hearing is being conducted to provide the public an opportunity to present data, views, questions, and arguments on the proposed rules. It is open to the public, and anyone wishing to present oral testimony or a written statement may do so. Persons who have not previously advised the hearing officer of their intent to give oral testimony should complete a registration card and present it to the representative at the registration table. All verbal and written comments received today and during the public notice period will become part of this hearing record. The information in the record will be used in evaluating the proposed rules. Lengthy statements containing considerable technical or other significant data should be submitted for the record in writing. Summaries of such statements may be presented orally. All testimony and written statements should be as factual as possible and should address the subject of this hearing. This hearing is not intended as a question and answer session, and persons giving testimony will not be subject to questioning by the public. They may, however, be questioned by the hearing officer or any other representative of the Department of Environmental Management to clarify points and to develop a better understanding of the information being presented. We will now proceed to the principal purpose of today's hearing, the receipt of public comments. I would ask that each person making a statement please step to the podium, state your name, and any interest or organization that you represent. This hearing is being recorded by a court reporter, and a transcription will be included in the public record. The order of appearance of persons giving oral testimony will be as follows. First, a representative of the Department of Environmental Management, then public officials, then members of the public in the order they filed registration cards to give oral testimony. I now call Brian Espy, Chief of the General Services Branch, Permits and Services Division.
Good morning. My name is Brian Espy. I'm the Chief of the General Services Branch of the Permits and Services Division of the Alabama Department of Environmental Management, also known as ADEM. I'm going to read a brief summary of reasons supporting the proposed modification. Under the provisions of the Alabama Environmental Management Act, 22-22A-1 Code of Alabama, 1975, as amended, the Department of Environmental Management was given the authority to adopt rules, regulations, and standards in order to carry out the provisions and intent of this chapter. This chapter also provides for the authority to cover the reasonable anticipated costs to be incurred related to the issuance, reissuance, modification, or denial of any permit, license, certification, or variance. Such costs include, but are not limited to, the examination and processing of applications, plans, specifications, or any other data, any necessary public hearings and investigations. The Administrative Procedures Act, Section 41-22-4, requires each agency to adopt rules of practice setting forth the nature and requirements of all formal and informal procedures available, including a description of all forms and instructions used by the agency. In accordance with the Environmental Management Act, the Department is revising ADEM Administration Code Rule 335-1-1-.07 Departmental Forms, Instructions, and Procedures. These revisions propose to modify, remove, and add forms required to implement ADEM program regulations. In addition, the Department is proposing to revise ADEM Administrative Code Rule 335-1-6-.07, which is Fee Schedule E, Payment of Fees. These revisions propose to restructure the solid waste permits registration program fees outlined in Fee Schedule E.
Thank you. I will now call on public officials, followed by members of the public, in the order in which they filed registration cards to give oral testimony. I would ask that each person making a statement, please step to the podium, state your name, and any interest or organization that you represent. I am requesting that everyone limit your comments to 5 minutes, since I've asked for lengthy statements to be submitted in writing. If anyone feels that they would like to make additional comments, I will appropriate more time after everyone in attendance has had a chance to speak. Do we have anybody that has registered to speak? Seeing that nobody has registered to speak and that I have not received any registration cards of anyone indicating that they want to speak, let the record reflect that there is no response. The final hearing record will include a transcript of this hearing and all written submissions and exhibits, and a response by the department to each relevant comment received by the hearing officer before 5 p.m. Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, at the ADEM office in Montgomery. After consideration of all oral and written comments, ADEM will make a determination regarding possible revisions to the proposed rules and prepare a response to all relevant comments received. When a final decision has been made, ADEM will forward the final draft of the proposed rules, as may be revised, the hearing record, and if conflicting views are submitted, a concise statement of the principal reasons for and against adoption of the proposed rules and the reason for overruling any consideration urged against their adoption to the Alabama Environmental Management Commission for its consideration and possible adoption. Once complete, this record will be available for public inspection in the office of the Department of Environmental Management in Montgomery. Thank you for your attendance and participation. This hearing is now adjourned.